Leadership is all about figuring out where to go and mobilizing the groups, the individuals within the organization to get there. One of the key tasks of a leader is to get stakeholders on his side within the organization, to enlist allies and key sympathizers, trying to get like-minded people together with you, find out what's going on in terms of the politics of the organization, find out what's going on in terms of information that is emerging and that is not publicly available within the organization and so forth. All of these are relational skills. They're not analytical or technical skills. Yet, the managers who get promoted up the ranks get promoted at the early stages because of their technical skills. So once they become aspiring leaders, they need to learn this new skill of developing effective relationships. So having a set of effective relationships is what causes positive social capital. So what is social capital? Social capital is, simply put, the value of your contacts. So who are your contacts? Contacts are people that you know, as well as the people that they know, and how well they know each other. So these three things together comprise your contact network. A contact network that is rich and in positive social capital has three features. The first thing it has is access to rich information. What I mean by rich information is there are different types of information. There's information that's available on the internet. We can scrape off every bit of information on the internet. But that does not give us a comparative advantage because everybody has access to that. Rather, when I say rich information, what I mean is what is referred to as private information. This is information that is tacit, unstructured, it's often emergent, so it's very unclear, it's not available in a public record somewhere. It's instead what people discuss inside a meeting in a room, for example, right? So that is the kind of information that I mean when I say a contact network that is rich in information. The second aspect is, do your contacts know things, have a different mindset, have a different worldview from yourself, right? To the extent that your contacts are very diverse, in the sense that they have different skills, different expertise, different ways of looking at the world than you, that's a network that is rich in social capital. The third aspect is, do people in your contact network view you as an informal leader? Do they come to you to interpret mandates that they get? Do they come to you to find out your suggestions and your advice on how to persuade or influence others and so forth? That is a measure of your informal power as a leader. So these three things put together, having rich information from your contacts, having access to diverse skills and capabilities and expertise in your network, and thirdly, your power as an informal leader in your network. These three things together means that you have a network which is rich in social capital. So in this module, we are going to cover 5 things. So the first thing we are going to cover is a brief introduction on the emotions that we feel around networking and what we think we mean by networking. The second thing we're going to cover is look at the situation that Russell Mehta is facing in Rosy Blue and understand his choices. The third thing we're going to cover is learn a new conceptual framework on how to describe networks and use that framework to understand our own network snapshot as it exists today. The fourth thing we'll be doing is to learn something new around networking styles which led us to have the network that we have today. And the fifth thing we're going to do is to see how we can adapt and change our networks.